When I'm scared, I find myself thinking about you. You're out there and I'm alone in this room.
Good morning, friends, and welcome back to my channel. Or if this is your first time here, then hi. My name is Carrington. A big, huge, special welcome to you. I hope you will consider hitting that subscribe button and clicking the little bell. As well, if this is your 10th time, 100th time, 50th time, 2nd time here, and you still have not yet hit that subscribe button, I absolutely invite you to do so. So that way you can join this dumpster fire, dumpster fire, dumpster fire of a channel. On this channel, we do mystery boxes, we do unboxings, we do reviews, we do shop my stashes, we do palette rankings, we do get ready with me's, we do all kinds of things. If this is something that sounds like it's interesting to you, I also try to throw in a little bit of true crime here and there. So if this is something sounds like is of interest to you, then definitely make sure you definitely have subscribed, and let's go ahead and get into today's video. All right, so my previous video that I had uploaded and posted was my son picking out my makeup for my Shop My Stash. So last month my daughter picked it out, but this month it's my beautiful baby boy. I've got a girl and a boy, and I love them both so much. They're both so different yet so similar. I couldn't imagine my life without either one of them. So he got to pick this month's Shop My Stash that I will be using throughout most of the month. Now, you're going to be seeing a lot of these products being used because this month I am literally doing a month of nothing new. There is only one day where I will be using some new products. I will also be talking about the haul that I had last month, but as for trying out new makeup, I'm only doing that one day, and that's because I am doing a collab. So for the most part, every video, I will either be wearing these products or using other products in my stash. But for the most part, it's going to be this stuff. So if you guys are excited to see what he picked out, how well these work, because some of these are new, then definitely keep on watching. So first things first, I did prime my eyelids. I used the Ulta Beauty Matte Eye Primer. That is my all-time favorite, and that happened to be what he picked. He picked Old Affordable. That's the only one I have that's old and affordable that's in my collection, and so it's the Ulta Matte Eye Primer. I think I've used that for like the past 4 months straight. But then he picked out this palette. I have used the Antidote palette, and I love that palette. But I have not yet been able to try out this palette. Also, let's just talk for just a second. I am wearing Grinch jammies that says Merry whatever. It's got the Grinch face. Okay, it's like the beginning, the 1st of December. So let's just welcome Christmas in. Okay, on to my next point. Okay, it feels like there's a hair on my face, and it's literally driving me insane. Okay, so I have not yet used this palette. I don't really recall a lot of people talking about this palette, but I definitely want to play around with some of the pinky purples. Those are beautiful. Granted, I want to play with the greens, but I feel like I do a lot of greens, and I think a nice pinky purple would be nice. But would it make more sense, I'm wearing a Grinch outfit, would it make more sense to do a green? You know what? Let's just do green. Let's just do green because here's some swatches of the green. Okay, so first let's go ahead and let's dive on into this very lime greenish shade. This is called Key Lime, which makes sense. I could see that. Okay, this shade has some slight kick up, but it coated the brush nicely. I did have to dip into the brush into the pan. I did have to dip the brush into the pan quite a few times to get the pigmentation, to get that much product. Okay, I think this is one we're gonna have to build up. Okay, so for this shade, I think this would be a better shade for a completely and totally white out base. I don't think just using a regular everyday base is the best. I also did find that like packing it on where you want it and then going in with the color again on the brush and just start blending it out is probably the way to go for this specific shade. But it does take some building and some time. Let's go into this green shade right here called Tropics. Let's see what we get with that. Okay, I've literally been digging my brush into this shade. Not a lot of kick up, but also taking a while to really coat my brush. So I'm a little bit nervous about how this shade is going to like perform, but we'll find out. Okay, yeah. Again, this is definitely a shade for like packing it on there. So then for the outer corner, we're gonna go into this shade right here. This is called Forest. It's definitely like a really nice deep green. Okay, again, I'm like literally like dipping into my brush and just like not a lot is coming up. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm really having to dig in there. Not really a lot of kick up in this as well. So finally got the brush to coat after quite a few stab-ins. And we're just gonna start it towards like the lash line. I've got it kind of smoked out for my shape so then I can go in and pack it. So now I've glitter primed my eyelids with my NYX glitter glue. That goes with me into every shop my stash bag. It is what it is. So now we're gonna go into the green shimmer right here called Tahiti Green. I'm not gonna lie, there's not a lot of shimmers in this palette, but anyways, not relevant. So I'm gonna definitely get that coated on my finger, and we're going to like tap it like in the center outer V part of the lid. So then for like the inner portion of the lid, I'm gonna go into the shade right here called Vanilla. It's kind of like a pink champagne, but it has like a very like, I don't know if you guys will be able to tell on camera, like it has kind of like that green shift to it. So let's see. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Like you can definitely tell that green shift in person, especially right up alongside that Tahiti green type shade. But this is very much, I would say, reminiscent of like a topper kind of a shade. So I will say you will need to kind of build this up. Moving on to the complexion. The first thing that we have is this primer. This is from I Heart Revolution. This is the Tasty Watermelon Primer. That's all that it says. I have not used this yet either. So far we're off to the start where nothing that I have. Oh my gosh, am I having a stroke? Nothing that I have used so far has been old to me. Oh, I literally thought it was going to be a doe foot. It's a pump. I'm okay with this. Let's see. Okay. Oh yeah. It smells like watermelon. It looks like a syrup. Okay. Well, this feels very watery. Okay. Well, now I'm putting it on my face and closer to my nose. It smells kind of like alcohol watermelon. Like is it Svedka? No, like the Smirnoff watermelon vodka. So next up, I'm going to take the Bare Minerals Prime Time Original Foundation Primer for my pore filling. Whoa. Okay, so it's kind of like okay, this feels very dimethicone-y. Interesting. Okay. It feels slippery, but like loaded with dimethicone. Okay. So next up, my son saw these and picked them out, even though I was not going to put this as an option. But these are color correctors. Okay, I have never ever used, I have used a color corrector for underneath my eyes, so that's what this would be for. But I've never used a green color corrector, and I don't know exactly like how much to put. But this actually hurts. I'm not, the little brush is kind of stabby and painful. Ow, like this hurts. I put a slight little bit underneath my eyes. I don't know if you can tell. Excuse me. I have not blended it out yet. But I've never used a green corrector. And I don't know like how much to put or not put. I don't know. Okay, if you guys are like color correcting kind of people, okay, let me know how much I should be putting versus how much I should not be. I know green is supposed to like help with redness. Can you tell? Okay, so the under eye part, my eyes, blended out beautifully. The green one is kind of harder to blend out. Like I have to like drag it down my face, but can anybody tell if that made a difference? All right, we have the Mr. Mint lip balm. Wow. This thing's gonna live forever. And just gonna. So for foundation, he picked the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Hydrating Tint with hyaluronic acid, which I feel like is great for it being like winter, just because like, you know, my skin's already dry, it gets even more dry in the winter, so here we are. So then for concealer, he picked the e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer in Fair Rose. This is not the hydrating one, but we're just gonna put a little bit here and some right here, a little bit here, some right here. I feel like that's all I really need. I don't feel like we need to go like overboard or anything. It does provide really nice coverage. The concealer does, for sure. But I just feel like this one specifically just makes my under eyes look so bad and crepey. It just makes them look extra dried out, which is not something that I personally love. Okay, so then we're going to go on to the cream bronzer, which he picked out the Say Sun Melt Natural Cream Bronzer. This is in light bronze. I have not used this out yet. Used this out? I have not tried this one out yet. So I'm taking my little e.l.f. brush and okay, I'm trying to like, oops, coat up my brush. This is like a hot mess. This is like, it's like a very hard, like in the pan, like trying to like get some on your brush. It's like kind of like a hard consistency. Like it's not super soft. Okay, so this is interesting. I feel like once I was finally able to get it out of this container, it worked really nicely, blended beautifully. I feel like this is a really nice, like light bronzy kind of a shade for my skin tone, especially with it being like the winter months when you and I both know we're not getting that much sun. Like we're not hanging out in like 30, 20 degree weather, like trying to hang out in the sun. Products I did not use that I want to talk about is my son did pick out some like extra like eye products. So we have the Stylus. What is this called? I don't know. It's in Diamond Dust. It's like the liquid like thing. We've got the Nabla Glitter Quad, and we have the Charlotte Tilbury Walk of No Shame little pot. I got a pretty good use out of this because Joanne picked this out in a Shop My Stash a couple months ago. For cream blushes, he picked out some blush sticks. I have never used the Colourpop blush sticks, so I am kind of excited to... What is going on? How do I get this out? So I'm kind of excited to see like how well these work. That is way too dark for this look. Way too like dark. I'm not sure how well this one's going to work either. That one might be better. Let me just see. Okay, that's a little bit better. So I'm just going to take this on my sponge. Just start like coating my sponge, I guess. I don't know. Okay, and then we'll just start lightly starting to like tap this in. Here we are, glowy and blushy. And then we're going to go into the Sydney Grace setting powder. This is their Cloud 9 powder. This is in the shade Fair. And we're going to go ahead and like dip into this brush and just kind of set everywhere that I'm going to go in with powder products. I don't want to like overly go in with powder just because I'm not much of a powder person. My skin is very dry. So really just like a very tiny amount to coat the whole face. So next up we have a bronzer. This is new. I have not tried this either. This is the Essence Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder for lighter skin. Is that just what it's called? Oh, 01 Natural is what it is. So I'm going to take a big fluffy brush for my bronzer. Oh, wow. Okay, first of all, it immediately coats the brush, but it is definitely slightly a bit powdery. I'm going to hold like the very ends of my brushes because I just want to like lightly start tapping it on. I don't want to go overboard. I don't know exactly how well this color is going to work. Oh yeah. Yeah, no, that's nice. All right, so next up for blushes, we have the blush number 3, and we also have this cute little elf. I think I actually want to go in with this one right here. It's kind of like a, oh my gosh, can I open this? So this is called Fantasia. It's kind of a little bit of a glowy blush. Okay. I'm gonna dip my brush into it very, oh my gosh. Like literally what's going on? Okay, let's just take that amount that we just got in 2 dunks because that is, oh my gosh, powdery. I have not used this. I thought I did, but I did not because it still had the safety seal on it. So, oh my gosh, that is so powdery. So I want to dip back into this palette. I'm just gonna kind of recreate with the mattes kind of what I did on the upper. So I'm taking that key lime and just starting to kind of really focus on smoking this out. Okay, then I'm gonna go into that Tropics shade and kind of focus that closer to the lash line and smoke it out again. And very last, we're going to that forest green, that dark green, and just focus that right up against that lash line. I'm going to take this Colourpop cream gel pencil. This is what he had picked out 2 cream gel liners from Colourpop for the liner that he wanted. So we have this one. This is in the shade Woodsy. It's more of like a brown. This was with the Raw Beauty Christie. And then here is like this one from the Tinkerbell collection called Fly With Me. And we're going to put this into the waterline. So let's move on to brows. So for the brow gel, he picked out, I've never tried this, still in package, the Juvia's Place Eye Sculpt Eye Shade Brow Gel in Clear. I used to really love like tinted, and there's some tinted ones I like, but I've been finding I really like this clear one more. Next up, we're going to dive on into the highlighter. This is the Space Age Prophecy from Kaleidos. And it's kind of like a little bit of like a multi-chrome. Looks kind of like it might have like a greenish kind of a base. So that's why he picked it out. So if it works out, kudos to him. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit on the brush and we'll go ahead and get started highlighting. Oh, wow. Looks a little bit more pink, I would say. Pink orangish maybe. Kind of a shade. Okay, I need to put a little bit on the inner corner. Let me just see here. It does have a little bit of a green shift to it. It's just hard to catch it on camera, but like in person it definitely has a green shift. Definitely more of like a pink orange kind of a shift, but there is a slight hint of green to it. But I really do like this. So now I'm going to go ahead and set my face. This is the Beauty Creations Coconut Setting Spray. I have never used this. Let me see. Okay, the mister's not bad. There we go, yeah. Next up, let's go, actually, let's go ahead and let's do brows. So I'm going to go ahead, this is the Brow Stylus Definer from L'Oreal. I'm going to go ahead, go off camera and try this out, and then we'll come back. Do some mascara, and I really want to try out this mascara. This is the Hourglass Unlocked Instant Extensions Mascara. I have never tried this out. This is what my son picked out. Very nice packaging. I like the little bunny in the H. I think that's cute. Oh, it's a plastic wand. Okay. Okay, it's not super painful. I'm able to get up really close to the lash line and just start going through. I don't necessarily know that I love this. It does keep the lashes really nice and separated, but it's getting all over my lid, and I don't really feel like it's adding any like length or volume. I just think it's coating them and making them darker and keeping them separated. I 100% don't think I'd care for this mascara, especially for the price point. Hourglass is expensive. I think we all know this, but like, what the hell is going on here? And then like, look, it's got all over my lid. Okay. Definitely not love. All right. I'm going to wait for that mascara to dry so I can kind of like brush it off, but let's go ahead and let's move on to lips. So for lips, he picked out 2 lip liners. We have one that's very pinky and we have one that's very brown. Let me like swatch them next to each other. Oh, that is really pink. Okay, so here we have that one's really pink, and we have this one more nude. I think let's go ahead, let's try out the really nude one. I don't know that I love this. These are kind of painful pencils, and I don't really feel like it did much in terms of showing up. I guess like, let's try the pink a little bit. See what we get. Like just kind of like mix the pink in there. So for lips, I'm going to go into this Jeffree Star question mark liquid lip. Oh man. In terms of gloss, I want to kind of tone this down, this pink down a little bit. So I might go into like this gloss called Crystal Climax. This still smells fine. See. All right, so here is the final look. We've got a lot going on in terms of like the lip to eye combo. Not necessarily my favorite. Again, there were some hits, there were some misses in this. There were some things that I really want to play around with a little bit more. I know what your guys' thoughts are down below. How do you think he did? How do you think he did in comparison to my daughter? Do you like the products he picked more? Do you like the products he picked less? Are there certain things you liked that she picked that he maybe didn't pick? So maybe she picked better products in one category and he picked better products in another category. Let me know all of that down below. And I will see you guys in my next one.